Hey everybody, welcome to another A Guy in His Room. Hey guys, welcome to A Guy in His Room. Back for another week of crazy hijinks. I'm trying to get more professional with the intros there. You know, you have to have like the high energy host kind of like, all that kind of stuff, but and I don't. Yeah, just thought I'd talk to the camera here for a second. You know, like I said last time, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Just, don't Eww-icide. If you know what I mean. Just don't do it, guys. If you know somebody who's about to do it, just tell them no, and you shouldn't do it either. Just don't do it, okay? Not enough people are saying it, but hey, look, it gets better, okay? Don't do it, guys. I was just thinking about that earlier. I go on these walks where I just kind of reflect, I'm just walking around, just kind of thinking, and sometimes inspiration just comes from that, it just comes in. You're like, what? And you just have an idea. And that's what happened. It's like I was being spoken to. Was it me or was it the universe? I don't know. But, yeah, I was like thinking about well, I don't know if they don't even do it anymore. Maybe it was like the 2010s. It was a big thing to be like, hey, don't. Listen, guys, reach out to people. Just tell them to not Eww-icide. Don't. I refuse to say unalive because it's like that's almost promoting it. Hey, let's not call it by the name so it's okay. Let's soften the blow. It's unalive. Like, okay, they're just not alive. That's all. They're not like dead. I'm sorry about saying dead, but I don't know. I have to mention the word to describe what I'm talking about. But if I triggered anyone, I'm sorry by saying dead. But you know what I mean? Like, reach out to people, guys. Come on. That was a big thing, and then they were talking about that. I really don't see that talked about. I guess I'll look it up here. Yeah, it's not really pushed as much as it was like 10 years ago, I guess. But I remember, it was big on social media. Like, I guess if somebody did it, it was like Chris Cornell, Eww-icide, maybe. We don't know. I still think that was an accidental jerk off related death. Because it just is. Why would you purposely go out doing that? I mean, Ricky Gervais had an old bit about that, I think. Oh God, dirty shit came up when I searched it. I searched Ricky Gervais autoerotic, and of course, stuff is gonna come up when you search that kind of stuff. It was on one of his specials, I guess. Yeah, but so that's how I think Chris Cornell went out. Because they said he had Ativan. It said all these like prescription drugs were in his system. And then there's this whole conspiracy theory about Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. They were like murdered to cover up for some weird trafficking ring. Like, of course they have to do a fact check on Reuters for it. That's something they needed to do. I'll show my screen in a second here. Fact check. They were not at Avicii, Bennington, Cornell, and Bourdain were not working on a trafficking documentary and did take their own lives. So they had to put an official fact check. An official fact check. Not a fat check. And I guess that DJ Avicii, he Eww-icided too. And yeah, the conspiracy. Oh, they were all working on this documentary called The Silent Children. peeking here a little bit. I'm peeking. That sounds like a wanking term, doesn't it? I'm wanking. I kind of wish we had that as the term. It's funnier than jerking off. It says, yeah, it was about all these. I think people were saying they were all lested, if you know what I mean. Also, again, I did read that Chester was, but I haven't heard anything about Chris Cornell having been molested too. Medication was in his system, but not an toxic amount. And he died. Did it where did I read that he had a belt around the door and all that? He had a athletic band on his neck, and so he used it on the door, and then I don't understand why that theory wasn't talked about. Why are people speculating it's autoerotic asphyxiation? I mean, because he had a belt around, he has a thing around his neck. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, really. He didn't come off like that. I know you can't tell, but all right. Yeah. So, but I just don't know if you can really prevent that totally. I was listening to these clips of Jim Brewer recently, and I guess he's had feelings about people. He said, and he tried calling him Chris Farley, I guess, before he passed. I listened to this podcast called Disaffected, and he always talks about how we're so afraid of death, we can't even say the word. And it really is kind of stupid we're like, oh, he passed. He went to the other side, guys. And now we're like, we can't say anything. It's like, come on, people. What's going on? But anyway, that's a great topic to start a video with, is talking about Eww-icide. So yeah, I guess one thing I guess I saw something in the news here. So apparently Trump said something about Somalia. He had another shithole country type of comment. Trump's garbage comment met with disappointment in Somalia. They're not even mad, they're just disappointed. President Trump turned his wrath on people from Somalia, calling them garbage. They call them garbage? He advised Somali Americans to go back to the Horn of Africa nation and fix it, calling it hell. Now, I don't know anything about Somali, but calling an area bad, I don't know if it's not racist to do that. I mean, they said that about, Tony Hinchcliffe, too, with his whole, garbage comment about Puerto Rico, I think. And, the thing is, it's probably dangerous in Somalia. I don't know anything about it, but is Somalia safe? I'm Googling. It's considered a very dangerous destination due to high risks of crime, terrorism, and civil unrest. The U.S. State Department advises against all travel to Somalia. And even U.S. government employees are restricted from traveling outside secure areas. So it sounds pretty not safe to go there. And, Trump's comments, same thing with his shithole comment. It's I guess, rude comment, but it's really not even false. It's like, yeah, it's a third world country. Is that better, to say a third world country? This is a podcast called Ask Google, and we just type things in, and I just show you what the results are. Third world countries. It's generally defined as a nation that is poor or developing, has high rates of poverty, political instability, high mortality rates. It originated during the Cold War to describe countries that were not aligned with the first. So today, it basically just means poor shithole. And I mean, if it is like a third world country, like no, you're not gonna say it's nice there. People that are upset about these comments, like, yeah, you don't want the president calling a whole area shit like garbage or whatever. But is he wrong? I mean, now if he did say Somali people are garbage, then that's that's a lot worse. But how many people that are upset about that, do they go to Somalia? Do you guys vacate? Do you go to third world countries and try to help? I mean, I know some people do stuff like that. I don't know how they do that, but you know, look, we call it third world countries. It's a polite way to say, don't fucking go there. Never be caught dead there. Like, look, we're just going to call it third world country, you know? We're not going to say hell or whatever. I mean, some cities in America now seem like third world countries. You have like Detroit, Camden, New Jersey. That's one of the top worst areas in the whole country for crime. Not many, I don't know if everybody knows that, but hey, if you're ever near Camden, check it out. San Francisco, I keep hearing is like really bad now, and they just let criminals go do whatever they want. Same with New York. And even Philadelphia, I was there for like a work meeting a few years ago. And yeah, it's the thing about Philly is it's very, compared to New York, it's very small. It's like one borough of New York. So like when you're walking around and there's all these homeless people and it just looks like shit, like it feels like it's worse because it's like a smaller, dense area. And New York is just this big area. You can kind of like put it out of your mind when you have a big area, you know, like if you're in a suburb, you know, everybody's talking about cities now, like, oh, stay away from the cities, man, get out of there. But then most people go to a suburb, so you're near the city. And a lot of suburbs are not that safe either. Like I used to live near Allentown in Pennsylvania. They had some pretty ghetto areas, guys. And I mean, there were spots like I was apartment hunting at one point in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. And there's some areas, like there were like a couple apartments I looked at where I just didn't even bother and I just left. I didn't even bother to go inside because of the area was that dangerous. And you just know. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not just cities. Well, I guess Allentown's a city and stuff, but even the small cities, now you don't have to just go to New York. Like any city now is probably, you know, fentanyl. There's like a fentanyl section in every city probably now. There's like a
trank
section in every city now. And I have the fentanyl map. There's a map I have. If anybody wants any tips or just kidding, YouTube, don't strike me, guys. Please, I rely on this for all my income, which was not a smart move for me. I rely on this for my entire income. Now look, people say go for your dreams, okay? Well, I went for my dreams, and I rely on YouTube only for my entire income, and I don't see any donations coming in. You got to go big with your dreams, you know, just make the move. Like, if you're, you know, that's kind of how people talk about, like, you know, if you really want to make it, you got to, you know, some people are like that, where they're like, I'm just going to quit everything. Like, I used to, like, open mic comedy and stuff, and there were some amateur comedians that they, like, that's all they did or something, or they just did, like, shitty jobs on the side. And there were a few that just lived in their car, and that's it. And I was like, man, that's like, it's like crazy, but it's also like, I don't have that kind of like, I'm just going to quit everything. I'm going to put it all on the line. I mean, is that craziness or is it like, wow, he's passionate? It's like a fine line between like, man, I'm just going to go for my dreams no matter what. Like, a job's going to hold me back, Apparently, there's people like the Quartering, who's a big YouTuber, who is like complaining about his money not being as much or his views not being. And, I mean, because the entire economy is like just on a downward slope since
the coof. It's not as good as it was.
But I also, it's like, dude, yeah, I mean, you basically won the lottery if you somehow became a YouTuber. It's hard for me to listen to a lot of that complaining. I mean, look, that sucks if you're used to that lifestyle, and you were like, look, I make a ton of money from YouTube, and now it's not as good. It's slightly less ton of money. Oh, jeez, I can't even Google him. Nothing's really come up. But yeah, it's hard to listen to YouTubers complain. And I do respect comedians more. Like if somebody lives in their car for comedy, that's one thing. But if you would like now, I don't know if any has any YouTuber done that. Look, I just quit my job. If you guys could send me some, I don't know, super chats, guys, come on. I mean, just send. Come on, I need some donos. I need some super chats, guys. And I mean, the Quartering is somebody who just like puts out, I mean, all the results that you get if you Google him. Fuck. Like all I want to do is look at his thumbnails and it just plays. Go to his page here. Oh my god. Here's all his videos. Now you can see he just does like news updates and like cultural issues, like online issues, and it's like I wouldn't even want to do this as like you could make a bunch of money, although it's like again, I don't know how he managed to do that, but I wouldn't even want to do this. Like it would be like I just don't care about most of this stuff. Plus you're only just doing like news article. You're just talking about what just happened and that's it. I don't even know if he gives good commentary over it. At least like Tim Pool gives his like opinions and stuff and he has guests on. But this guy, he just does this like clickbait or like outrage bait, whatever. All his videos are like
it's all poison. The brutal truth about the food you love. Yo, no shit. Democrats panic. I mean, we all know this about the food already, Jeremy. Okay.
that's his real name. Ben Stiller humiliated. Mr. Beast exposes YouTube. That's what all these people do, though. It's not just him. Like, this is what you have to do to be, like, successful. And most probably aren't successful, but yet, you have to do this kind of stuff. Like, make these ridiculous thumbnails. And it is, like, ridiculous that, like, that affects your views on YouTube. Like, oh, you better have a good thumbnail. Make sure you title it. Like, I was looking this stuff up because my view, like, I managed to have a couple videos get okay views somehow. And then it went back down to, nothing. And I just got to get used to the nothing again because, I don't know. I got lucky with those few videos, I guess. I don't know. But then I was looking up, like, what affects your views. And yeah, a lot of it is just like the thumbnail and like the title and it's just ridiculous. I mean, I get, okay, you want to have like a interesting thumbnail or title because, I get that, but like there shouldn't be a way to game the system. Like he clearly knows, like he has a formula and that's what he does all the time. So like I'm not like that sympathetic because it's like you're just somebody who puts out slop, just like, oh, I know this algorithm. I know the algorithm. I figured it out. People will click on my video and listen to half of it, and they're all like really short. 11 minutes. All like 11, like 10 to 15 minutes, I guess. All of them. Wow. Is that like see, that's like, you could just chase all that shit. It's like, God, it's exhausting even thinking about it. Okay, guys, so, okay, YouTube fam. See, that's another thing. You have to like talk to people like that. Every video has to start. Actually, you know what? Let me just click on one of his videos, and that way you'll know what I'm talking about.
Remember Carmelo Anthony, the guy that probably felt disrespected? He wasn't going to be no B word when he took the life of Austin Metcalf, and the entirety of the mainstream media also refused to cover that, We just talked about this Ukrainian woman in this country to flee the evil Vladimir Putin, according to the media. The media loves this woman, right? Pretty white lady who fled 0.4 million.
Okay, I guess he didn't start with his channel intro, but
people for a very, very long time have suspected that Walmart was up to something really suspicious. Have you ever I think we've all experienced this, I guess, if you have a smartphone, almost certainly. It's like you get an ad or an email and you're like, what the heck? Why am I getting
So he just starts it with like if I'm going to talk about everybody's talking about the go back to the news or something. Everybody's, so we've all been to third world countries and we don't really say, everybody's, it's like, we don't really say they're the best places to be, but we don't call them garbage. And that's what Trump just did, guys. Now you might be wondering, why did Trump say that? Well, it's kind of in his nature to be honest and just give his take about got all the top places are covering this story, guys. Never mind. I don't know what this isn't what I was just talking about. People are like Ilhan Omar saying Trump's comments were completely disgusting. People are upset about this, and I gotta say, me too. I mean, this is not presidential. Yeah, just like a boring job to just like talk about a news story. Every news story that comes up, you have to put out another video about it. Like, plus you have to keep up with the news. But yeah, I was gonna talk about. I can't believe I just Googled this, not thinking anything would come up, but maybe I should do clips though. I keep forgetting to make clips of my recent videos. Guys, you need to keep me on the, somebody, hey, there's clippers out there. If anyone wants to super chat me and just fund my lifestyle, please. This is the holidays. We have to be giving, and that means be giving to me, somebody you have no relation to and is a stranger that does YouTube videos. Come on, guys, send me a $100 super chat. That's only $10 a month, I guess, or less. I mean, come on, guys, $10 a month? Get the fuck out of here. What are you, selfish? And that brings me into my next. Well, every podcast now has ad breaks that you can't skip, or that are embedded in the episode. So like ad block doesn't even work on those, which is pretty smart. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about, again, I can't believe that. So this is something I've been thinking about for a while. There's a lot of actresses now, for some reason, that have far apart eyes, and it's like a weird trend that's very notable. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, are they alien human hybrids? Like, what? I read this book about that, like half laughing at it, but now I'm like, is that maybe they are? Like, I just don't understand what's going on. Why would that be a trend? Why would that be happening? You had the Little Mermaid, who people acted like it was because she was black, and really it was just like, she's kind of. I mean, those eyes, you know. I just don't understand the trend of it. Like, if a couple had that, okay, but like, look at this. They made a list of this. 15 gorgeous celebrities with wide set eyes. You know, this is something that never would have been something like me growing up. I can't imagine that being a thing that they like are celebrating. I mean, it used to be very. I'm not saying it's more healthy to be like anorexic or like, man, this is weird. This is just weird. I didn't really notice some of these. Like, I didn't notice her. I forget her name for some reason. Emma Stone and Amanda Seyfried. I somehow didn't notice. Her eyes just look big to me. I don't even know if they're far apart or just like, I don't know who that is. See, I don't know about. I mean, I guess her. That's another one. Yeah, this is like the most. I talked about her before on my channel, and she might have some syndrome or something, and like, why is this a trend? That's not even Amanda Seyfried. I thought it was. I don't even know who that is though, so I just don't get this. I don't know who that is. Kate Moss. I didn't even think about that. All right, those are. Yeah, I didn't even think about her either. I don't understand what's going on because it does look like an alien a little bit. I mean, their eyes aren't huge or anything, but it's like are wide set eyes the new female standard? Like, see, it's not me. I thought it was a little like I thought it was just me noticing it or something. Why do all the new crop of starlets have eyes too wide apart? I mean, that's exactly what I want to know. What is going on? I don't get it. How would this be a genetic trait happening when there's like, it's not just her, it's not just Anya, whatever, it's not. I mean, that Holly girl those are, yeah, this is the syndrome that, they said she had. Waardenburg syndrome affects only 1 in 42,000 people. What the fuck? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what is going on? The unique charm of wide-eyed actresses. It's not unique anymore. It's actually like you need that now. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't know if you can say like, oh, that's so sad that she has that. Like, it's, you know, she's like a rich celebrity now. So what is like, what the fuck? Oh, well, yeah. Somebody asked on Reddit, do they have a different depth perception than everybody else? Like hammerhead sharks can see more or something? I guess it could. I don't think you can get surgery to do anything about that either. Which celebrity has the widest distance between their eyes? Halle Bailey has to be in the top 10. I don't know. Maybe it's alien stuff. Okay, so this is the tweet where she said, "Why do they all have eyes too wide apart?" Everybody freaked out at her for just asking that. See, I'm not being racial about it. That wouldn't even make sense. They're all different races here. Is Zendaya? I don't think Zendaya really has them. Is that AI? Is that really her? Because I didn't notice them on her. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't see that in, like, real life. I don't walk around seeing, wow, there's so many young women with eyes far apart. So it totally makes sense that they're all being cast in movies now. Like, do they make a lab and they just, like, come out of the lab to make... Maybe it's a trend. Maybe they're just, like, casting them more. It's like, you know, because models and stuff have always had, like, they've always liked weird, like, and somewhat ugly, even in some cases. Like, just, oh, you look so unique. We're going to make you a star. Yeah, it's like seriously alien hybrids or something. See, like, if they have eyes close together, it's like, I don't notice it as much, unless they're really close together or something. Yeah, eyes too close together would be this Family Guy thing. I forget what episode that was, but plastic surgery, that doesn't make any sense. I don't think you can move eyes in plastic surgery. Has anybody ever... Oh, her too. Although, I feel like she has something. Like, I don't know, but I'm not even trying to be mean, but I guess it comes off that way, but I just don't get why it's a trend happening. The girl from Last of Us, apparently. The splice creature. God, yeah. So to me, an alien. Did we have a trend with close up eyes? Did we have the opposite before? Like, hey, let's go the opposite way, guys. Let's imagine if they. She like barely has them. Maybe she does. I thought her eyes were big, and that's what I. Because Emma Stone has big eyes, and so does Amanda Seyfried. No, they're not that far apart. These are like not that far apart. No, I don't. What are they talking about? Maybe Leanne Rhymes, I guess. No, that doesn't count. This is a retarded list. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think you can just get surgery. Hey, can you move my eyes in my skull? Can you move my eyes around? Are mine too close together? Look, I want my eyes like that. Hey, can you make me look like Anya Taylor-Joy? Come on, Doc. Money is no object. No object. No object. Make me look like that.
No.
I want to look like an alien. I want to get work in Hollywood. Can you move my eyes far apart? Come on, just a little bit. Just scoot them along. One over here. One nearly looking like 90 degrees to the left, and one... It's just weird. It's weird. What is going on? What's going on out there, guys? A guy in his room investigates. Far apart eyes. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening in Hollywood? Far apart eyes are the new normal. You guys have regular apart eyes or close together even? You aren't getting work anymore. Sorry. Tell your doctor to move your eyes around because I don't know. What if everybody had Forrest Whitaker eyes? What if that was the trend that somehow... And it's not even like people are doing that, you know? Like when celebrities get plastic surgery or Botox, you can... Well, I mean, I feel like I can tell a little bit. And that's like that's a trend they're all doing. Obviously, they're choosing to do that. Maybe they're thinking it's helping them getting cast. But nobody's like, hey, just happens that like every male actor now has Forest Whitaker eyes. How weird is that? It's weird. It's just happening, you know? Nobody, it's not, no, you know, no reason. We're just, that's all the new celebs. So, I don't have to tell you. I'm just noticing, guys. I'm just noticing a little bit. Just, you know, notice things. Yeah, but okay, so another thing I may want to talk about. So there's a this band called Say Anything, and I used to be really into them. And the singer, I didn't listen to him for years because, I mean, honestly, the singer annoyed me, and his relationship annoyed me because, like, it was all about them. Like, it was like, oh, Max and his wife, like, do this thing, and it was like a weird, it was like, you know, but I know he just got a little weird. But now I noticed there's this subreddit about Say Anything, and everybody now just slams him constantly. Where it's like, and I think they're like mad at him because they think I don't know, they did, they think he had CPS called and on him or something. I don't even know if there's evidence for any of that happening. I guess him and his wife split though. And there may have been bad stuff he did. I don't know, but that's how everybody's acting. And they're all slamming him, and they're all saying like, "Oh, he's just off his rocker." And it's like, it's a little too much. Like, and I don't even really like him. Like, I am also annoyed about it. Like, I also think, oh, maybe he's a little, because he's bipolar. So like, they're like, oh, he's off his meds, he's going crazy, and maybe he is, but maybe he is. 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 I don't know. I don't know. But you know, like, it's annoying me more that everybody's on this bandwagon, almost like cancel culture on this subreddit. And it's kind of funny, like, people are commenting like, hey, the show was actually good recently, and then somebody else said, oh, the show was bad. I mean, yeah, okay. Does that mean he's like I don't get the whole, like, and I think this is a trend with like subreddits of bands and whoever. They start to get too concerned and like basically making, I don't know, kind of like where it's overly concerned. It's like looking at everything he posts or like everything he does, you're like analyzing it, saying like, oh, it must be because, you know, he lost custody or something, like, and there's no evidence for it. It's like gossip. Yeah, it's gossip, I guess. I mean, there's people that still put regular posts up here, but then there's a lot of, you know, like somebody posted, they're just posting it in the new songs, and then it's really gross, somebody said. See, it has like no likes, and a bunch of comments. And I'm not going to defend their new songs. I don't really, just like the knee-jerk concern they have. Like, it's one thing to make fun of them or just be like, this is not, but then it's another to be like, oh, he's doing this, like, at his family. He's like, you know, he's going to do something to somebody, or I don't know, just speculating like that. And they're acting like it's like, you know, it's like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard. And I'm like, I really don't think, I mean, well, from what I heard, like, just the production is terrible. And that might be the main issue, even. I mean, this artwork is terrible. It could be AI. I hate that I think this one is actually okay. Like, what? Why? I mean, if it turns out he did something bad, okay, but like there's no from what I saw, there's no real evidence of like, there were kind of like rumors that he, you know, graped or whatever his, well, they called it that, like, oh, his wife was drunk and he still had sex anyway with her. Like, is that, does that count as that? Or like, that's what they were saying. He basically had her, like, did it, forced sex on her when she was really drunk, even though I'm sure he was too. I don't know if that happened. Who knows if that happened? It's not even a case where like allegations are coming out. It's like a relationship. It's like a stuff with his kids. Like, why speculate about somebody's kids too? It's like, I mean, yet there is one thing I'll say in defense of these people. He was too oversharing with his relationship and his everything. So I guess it makes sense in a way that they're doing this. Yeah, then somebody here is like, I'm sick of all the, basically saying like, I'm sick of all the hating. And here it's like a hate subreddit. And I think there's subreddits called like snark subreddits where they just like criticize every single thing somebody does and do gossip and stuff like that. And so somebody here was just like saying like, look, he's always been hated on, like, to a degree. And now everybody is like, and he's like, downvote all you want. And then I'm sure he got a bunch of downvotes. He got 30 likes though and 138 comments. So so look, like, there's no, what evidence do you have that this guy, yeah, he's bipolar, he's nuts or whatever. You can call him that all day, but like, unless his wife said, hey, he did this to me, I don't even think, like, that didn't even, I don't think, come up. And they make fun, they're like, oh, a few of his albums since this one have been like, oh, just like a mess, just like mental illness. And I'm like, no. Some of these albums, like, yeah, only his new, that happens with every single artist ever. And look, I don't even want to like defend him really. He is annoying. I don't know. He's like an emo Kanye West almost. He's like, who knows if he's acting crazy to like, I don't know. I mean, he's just like too much out. To me, he's always been too oversharing. And like now you see what happens when you overshare with your fan base. When you're like too almost culty with your fan base, like, and then we're obsessed with him and his wife, like, oh, they're so cute, like, it's just like, I hate that shit when people overshare about their relationship, and anybody that does that is like, I'm like, it's not real. It feels fake, like they're doing it because they need to do it to feel like, oh, we have a great relationship because our fans say that in comments on our pictures, But, and I'm not, defending him if people hate him or whatever, but just every band ever, a lot of the fan base says only their early shit is good. Like every band, Metallica, what band doesn't it apply to except for the Beatles? I mean, pretty much every band. Also, you know what, the Beastie Boys actually almost got better too. But it's rare to have that happen where you get like better somehow. So I think this is a case. This happens with every like hate campaign against like anybody who's like a public figure. There's always people that go back and go, this album too, I knew there was something up with him since this song said this. And it's like, I don't know, that happened with Louis C.K. And there's been nothing like that even with this guy. There hasn't been fans, and this could happen, I don't know. There could be fans eventually that come out but to my knowledge, there's no fans that come out and said like, "Hey, he did this to me" or whatever. Where you had with Louis C.K., where like people actually accused him. But even with Louis C.K., people were like, jumping on the bandwagon, but Louis, most of that was so fake because, I mean, Louis was like worshipped before those allegations came out. He was worshipped. Like, I mean, that show he had was like, he was called a genius. Like he was, it was almost inevitable that something would bring him down because he was almost too up there. It's almost like you get so popular that it's like the stock market where eventually you can't keep getting higher. Eventually your stock goes down. And like, Louis C.K., everybody was like, you know what? I never thought he was funny. He was never funny. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh, actually, this one special he did, ew. Like, actually, he probably would. Now it's like, oh, he was trying to say something. You know what? I always thought he was a creep. No, you didn't. See, this is a problem on Reddit too. Like somebody will try to talk a little bit of common sense, and he gets a ton of like, "Are you kidding me? Wait, what?" Brother, respectfully, you were not paying attention if that's what you think the issue is here. Okay? A lot of people who are making really tone deaf and willfully ignorant points. So, like, the most, like, the things with the most evidence, I guess, or whatever, that he's a train wreck would be that he did all these, he used to like write songs for people, and maybe he still does it. I think he's doing it again or something. And it was called Song Shop, and you could buy a song, and he would like charge like a little too much. I don't know. It was like Cameo basically, except he wrote songs. It's a cool idea, but like he did too much of it, and it was like impossible. And it is kind of like somebody who was manic come up with this idea, like I'm not going to put a limit on it. And then I guess a lot of people never got their songs, so he just took their money. And they didn't get refunds, and it was like, yeah, that kind of happens when there's no accountability and there's no like system. He's not going through PayPal probably or something. And that's shitty. But everybody's talking about it on here, so they're basically warning people. And yeah, he deserves criticism for that kind of stuff. He deserves criticism for his performances being terrible or when he's drunk or whatever on stage. Yeah, somebody says here, fan groups and subreddits are all kinds of filled with are filled mostly with endless bitching from people that consume content they don't even enjoy, I guess. Yeah, it is a thing now. That's a point at which a lack of growth isn't cute. Okay, that's different from hate watching everything he does and like they talk about some of these albums being like off the like, oh, this is when he started to get bad. Like, oh, this album Hebrews they mentioned, I actually really like that one still. And it was a really creative idea, like, because he was like didn't use any guitars on it, and he basically used guitar effect noises though. So it was like, but I mean, it was really creative, like, and it's hard to do that kind of thing, but he did that, and not every album is going to be the same. You don't really want that anyway. I don't know. It's like now there's a lot of I do get the criticism that he hasn't grown up or whatever. Because yeah, his lyrics are the same, except they're about his wife and stuff. So everybody's grossed out by it. But it's like weird because from what I remember, when everything was good with them, I think the Reddit was like all like worshiping him and his wife. So they'd be into that like back then. Except now it's like, oh, now because he messed up things, we're gonna say he's like a predator or something. Now it's one thing to say it's like gross, but not, saying something, I don't know. But yeah, don't go off the like. Don't get so obsessed with artists like this. If you don't like him, or if you hate what happened, I don't know. First of all, it's like stupid that fans get involved with the relationships ever. I know if it's like a big profile couple, I get it because they were very out there and overshared about everything. So I get that, and like, I mean, yeah, you can't do that with a fan base. I think like Tegan and Sarah had some documentary about how they had to stop oversharing with fans because they got stalked or something. I didn't even watch it, but I mean, this like hate obsession, it's like obsessing but hating them. It's like you're just following them just to hate them. That's like, it's just too much, it's like, it's one thing to just go, oh, I guess he fell off, oh, I guess he got divorced, that sucks, like, oh, I don't know about this guy anymore. That's one thing. But then like these people are just like, let me sort by recent. Most people are selling tickets. So people now are having to say like, hey, it was actually a good show because there's so much hate on here. Oh, somebody else is complaining about all of the hate too. Somebody else see, like, there's a lot of I mean, there's positive like feedback even too. But then somebody put would all these people that work with him do so if he's as messed up as he portrays? And like somebody, like people are like, hey, should I go to the show? There's so much hate in here. Like, should I go? Because like, I mean, I get being upset when a band's like, oh, it wasn't even showing the Reddit there. I get being, if somebody's a train wreck and the show's terrible, like I get being upset. That would make me probably not go again. That's the biggest risk, I think. Like, okay, if you're going to throw up on stage and like be a wreck on stage, like people aren't going to come back and see you next time though. So, but everybody that's like, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Should we do so? Like that's like the worst. We need to do something, guys. It's like you are somebody who listens to them. You have no relation. I don't know. That went on too long, but don't get too caught up in the don't be too online, guys, Don't be too online. Don't be too online. Don't be too online. Don't be too online. And remember, don't do it. Remember, guys. Don't do it. If you're thinking about it, don't do it. Just don't.